Yo, what's up everybody? Today we're going to be doing some more of the Umineko playthrough, and yeah, we've got some really interesting stuff lined up for today because, oh my god, yesterday we just saw, you know, the total, I don't really want to say weirding of the mystery because that isn't even a word, the increased weirdness of the mystery, let's say that. Maria, what the fuck? Let me just say. I suppose also, like, all of the stuff regarding whether Beatrice actually exists or not, and it's interesting that everything points to her existing. Every single little detail points to her existing, and yet we're still trying to argue logically that that can't be possible because of what we know in our human, you know, depth of knowledge. We can't possibly know about witches. Yeah, so it's going to be really quite interesting to see how Battler is actually going to, you know, how he's going to argue this, how he's going to argue that, you know, there is no magic involved. It is a human culprit behind this. There is no 19th person. That could potentially be something. But yeah, I really don't know. It's going to be interesting because at the moment I feel something entirely different to the main character. I think everything points to there being a 19th character. Everything does. But it's going to be really interesting to see how his views are going to differ. After a meal, some people tend to head to the bathroom, while others prefer to relax a bit. Yeah, fair enough. Relaxing is overrated. It seemed that several people had left the parlour, just like I did when I went to the kitchen and yeah, and drank some water. Fair enough. In the end, Aunt Natsuhi reluctantly retracted her order that everyone remain packed in the parlour. Oh, it was just because they were too bored. On the condition that nobody... Yeah. On the condition that nobody headed out on their own or strayed too far. Well, they could do that and then nobody would actually know. But at the same time, that'd really incriminate them. Like, what is the point? In any case, if 11 people were shut up in the same room starting early in the morning, the air will start to stagnate. Oh, yeah. Also, quite some time had passed, so everyone was starting to recover from the shock of the morning. Yeah, that's good. And their sense of danger might have been weakening too. That's not a very good thing. I mean, even though, like, obviously you're going to be less paranoid as a result, which is a good thing, it's not good for, I don't know, just being prepared, really. If you have less of a sense of danger around you, then somebody could potentially just surprise attack you and you'd not be able to retaliate. It's kind of unlikely that would happen, but still. However, it was a certain fact that 6 people were being killed inside this mansion. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't disagree. So no one was completely negligent. Yeah. So, whenever they went out into the hallway for a breath of fresh air, trying to act tough, they would quickly get scared of standing there, isolated, and would eventually return to the parlour. Jesus Christ. I mean, this is just like a kid's fear of the dark, but taken on another level. You know, the fact that you can't even go out of the, you know, the parlour just to get a little bit of a break without feeling like a real impending sense of danger. I mean, my god, if I felt like that in my house, ugh, that'd be scary. But the only thing is my house is really small, so I think if I felt like that there, then yeah, what the fuck. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. God. I guess it's like the north wind and the sun. Oh, interesting. If you force someone to say shut in, they'll resist, but if you tell them to do whatever they want, they'll come back obediently. Oh yeah, I do find that really quite interesting. Yeah, so for example, this, you can relate this to working hours. If you force somebody to work a certain amount of hours, then they're not going to want to do it. If you provide an incentive, provide a competition, for example, like, if you force somebody to work 100 hours, they're not going to want to do it. But if you say, I don't know, like, whoever can make this piece of software first gets the most money, and obviously, yeah, people are going to want to, they're going to feel more inclined to work, even though it's off their own initiative, because they feel as if they're missing out if they don't work. Yeah, people really do not like doing what they're told. Yeah. That's interesting. When the Sevens finished cleaning up from the meal, they returned obediently to the parlour, just as Aunt Natsuhi had told them to, and sat on a sofa near the entrance, patiently awaiting orders. Yeah. Oh, Maria, almost as though she had suddenly finished playing witches. I returned to the pure Maria I knew well, saying, that is really weird. I can't tell if this is actually Maria, or if there is something that could potentially be behind her. You know, such sudden changes of personality. Oh my god, I know what in the world happened back there. I hadn't even... Oh, that's mysterious music. I hadn't even felt an atom of the presence of this person called Beatrice, who was supposedly standing behind me, invisible. Oh, I know. The thing that doesn't really make sense is it's people with a different wavelength. Does that mean quite literally the wavelengths that can, you know, focus on your retina in your eye? Or does it mean, I don't know, some weird Umineko terminology that we haven't heard yet? I don't know. Yeah, that is that's fair enough, and that would definitely explain why Maria has become so weird playing witches. Yeah, it is so weird.
確かに
You're right.
マリアちゃんは魔女とかの話になると
Yeah,
人
that
が
is
変わるね
weird. When Maria starts talking about witches, her personality
昨
changes.
日海岸でバトラ君も見たでしょ
Bataraka, you saw it down by the beach yesterday, right?
サソリのキーホルダーの時か
You mean the scorpion's keychain?
いやあんな機嫌を損ねるみたいな感じじゃなくてよ
No, I don't mean like when her feelings were
ま
hurt.
るでその二重人格みたいな
Yeah, God. No, I understand that. Yeah, maybe the witches and talking about them could actually be the trigger for it, but to be honest, it wouldn't be surprising because a lot of those things are, you know, developed from really past traumatic events. If you have mothers like fucking Rosa, you know, whenever they get mad, doing, you know, literally hitting you, of course you're going to be able to develop stuff like that.
たまにそういうこともあるな。
Yeah, that happens sometimes too.
さっきマリアが魔法陣の話を始めた時みたいなやつ、たまにあるぜ。
The thing Maria did when she was talking about the magic circle does happen every now and then. That's
気持
weird.
ち悪いけどな。
Agreed. It's freaky though. Yeah, that is odd. Interesting that maybe Maria's, you know, demeanor could actually be influenced by Beatrice herself. I mean, that's so weird. Yeah, the Scorpion keychain, the one that ironically saved his life, apparently. Apparently, Jessica had spotted that in Maria a few times. Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, that's interesting. It is really quite odd that this isn't the first time that that's happened in. Yeah, that really doesn't make much sense, actually. I wonder what's the cause of that. It's either Beatrice or, if you want to use more human terms, I think split personality is probably the most likely way you could go down. Yeah, I just happened to catch it at a bad moment and was pretty freaked out seeing it the first time. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
何なんだ
So what is that?
マリアは二重人格か何かなのか
Yeah, no, I know. Does Maria have a dual personality or something?
それとも本当に霊感が強かったりとかしてそういうのに憑依されたりとかしちまうのかよ
Or are you saying that she has that her spiritual sense really is that strong and she's being possessed by a spirit or whatever?
そういうのじゃないと思うよ
No, I don't think it's that.
バトラ君にも経験ない
Haven't you ever experienced
小さい
it?
頃自分以外の誰かになりたかったなんてこと
Oh, that's interesting. So this is really just taking it to the next level, really. When you were small, didn't you ever want to be someone other than yourself? Yeah, definitely, yeah. When humans are born, nobody has any individuality. Yeah, it's something you develop. However, when they reach their growth period, their sense of self starts to be born. Yeah, they want to be different than other people. Yeah, but since everyone else in their class is learning the same things at the same rate and being forced into the same lifestyle, of course they aren't going to find anything that makes them different from everyone else around them. Oh yeah, definitely. When you're first growing up, you are completely indifferent. I couldn't agree more for that. Once they realise that, the first thing they do is start breaking the rules. Yeah, in what's called their rebellious stage. Since everyone else follows the rules, they want to show off their individuality by breaking them. Yeah, understandable. So even those who try to act tough, mocking everyone around them and calling them childish. Yeah, that's interesting. Can actually be viewed as cute kids searching for themselves, if you look at it that way. Yeah, I suppose so, because by mocking people, even though it's a dickish thing to do, that's the self they're sort of searching for, and the one that's going to be defined by their actions now. It is interesting, that. Yeah, fair enough, yeah. So I think Maria could potentially just be the extreme end of this. Well, I'm lecturing all about this like I'm so smart, but I actually got it second half from George Aniki. Oh, right. I myself was one of those embarrassing guys who thought it was cool to act like a little vase. It's actually really quite funny that... Oh, God. Well, that was... Yeah, well, that was when I was at the age where you tried to show off on the... Oh, God. That's a little bit sad.
子供から脱却したいというひよこが殻を破るのに似た衝動がある。
Yeah, fair enough, actually. The main feature of the growing period lies in an impulse to break away from your life as a kid. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like a chick trying to crack open the shell of their egg.
子供と大人の違いは何かわかるかい？
Do you know what makes children and adults different?
年齢
Age? Oh,
それとも
not
体格
not just that. No way. Or do you mean size? Mentally.
違うよ。経験だよ。
Fair. No, it's
大
experience.
人が子供を見下すのは人生経験が少ないからだよ。
But if you can look down as an adult without understanding that children have very little life experience, then you're sad as well. Let's be honest here. Adults can look down on children because children have very little life experience.
子供が何を言っても鼻で笑ってしまうのは世間知らずのくせにと見下しているから。
Yeah, fair enough, actually, yeah. Even, this may not actually have to be like a mocking context, just when, for example, I don't know, in families, they'll always laugh at what the kids say. Yeah, the reason they snort at everything children say is because they think kids know, kids know nothing about the real world. Fair.
ああ、そういうのわかるぜ。
Yeah, I understand that.
子供の頃って妙に人生ってもう悟り切ったようなことを口にして
Fair enough, actually.
年長しゃぶりたくなるよな。
Yeah, when you're a kid, you talk like you've got life all figured out somehow, trying to act like an adult.
大人は子供が何
Oh
を言っ
my
ても
god. Yeah,
世の
fair,
中はな
fair,
くない
fair.
とか社会に出ればわかるとか鼻で笑ってる。
School's pointless, guys. Let's be honest, every single kid has thought that. No matter what kids say, adults just snort at them. Yeah, and say they're too naive, or that they'll understand when they get older or something. In Maria's case, she may be too naive, but the only thing is, she is so influenced by, I suppose, the way she's actually become different to everyone else around her, that she's really immersed herself in it, and as a result, I suppose, well, she's really immersed herself in it, and now she can't really get out. So yeah, maybe it's going to be the case that she actually grows up with this. Will she understand when she gets older? Because of how big of an interest it is. This thing is creepy. I love this though, it's so true.
まあ実際そうなんだけど子供的にはそう
Agreed.
いうの
Yeah, definitely.
見下されてるみたいでムカつくんだよな。
Oh, I see your theme. Yeah, well, it's probably true, but to a kid, it's just annoying, like they're being looked down upon. Yep, so you justify, and as a result of that, you strengthen the other interest that you have inside you, really. I get it.
知識や経験の有無か
It's a question of knowledge and experience. Yeah.
確かに年齢だけ無駄に食ってても尊敬はされねえよな
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. Well, I guess you're right that there's no reason to respect the person for their age if they've just wasted their lives.
となるとつまり子供から脱却したいという衝動を持つ時期にかつ他者とは違うという個性を持ちたくなる。
Therefore, during the period when they try to separate themselves from other children, yeah, they also try to take on personality traits different from those around them.
子供からの脱却がつまり知識や経験なのだとしたら
And if knowledge and experience is what separates kids and adults.
なるほど他人の持ち得ない知識を持つことが
Oh,
一
that's
つのアイデンティティ
interesting.
になるわけか
I get it. If they know somebody nobody else knows, it becomes part of their identity.
小学校の頃なんかさクラスの誰も知らないことを知ってい
Yeah,
た
that
り
is actually really quite interesting. I really hate that this is genuinely... I hate that this actually rings bells with me. You know, when I was in elementary school, I'd learn things else nobody
持っ
else
てい
knew.
たり身につけていたりするとヒーローになれたよな。
Oh. That's interesting. That's actually really quite cool. Because you would have thought that could have totally gone the other way. I'd learn things nobody else knew, get things nobody else had, wear things nobody else wore, and become a bit of a hero
バト
for
ラ
it.
もそういう経験あるだろ
Yeah, I bet you've done the same thing, Butler. That's interesting, though. Yeah. I mean... Well, that's really interesting. So this is basically suggesting that because Maria has been so different to those around her, she's really, really specialised and began in her own personality, and then the things that she knows that, you know, barely anybody else knows about black magic, they've really become a part of her just because of how little people know it, really. That's interesting. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. There was definitely an age where I wanted to excel in some skill or the other. Yep, me too.
それが子供からの脱却。つまり成長期ってわけか。
I see, so that's because I was trying to separate myself from being a child. Or going through my growing period, in other words.
健全な意味での成長期は、そうして没個性を脱
Oh,
却
yeah,
する
yeah,
ため
definitely,
に、
yeah, yeah, yeah.
人が持たない知識やスキルを身につけることを促す。
And knowledge can be really, really good, and it can totally define a person. If you put a positive spin on it, the growing period forces you to separate yourselves from others. Yeah, therefore pushing you to gain skills and knowledge nobody else has.
これは社会学的にも面白いことだよ。
This is also interesting from a sociological
人
standpoint.
が没個性を嫌うために、人と違う技術を身につけようとする。
Yeah, I agree. Because people hate being like everyone else. They try to learn skills other people don't know. Yeah.
これにより、社会は幅広い技術を獲得して立
That's
脚する。
interesting. That's fair. Yeah, in this way, society can acquire the broad range of skills it
神
needs to
々の高
survive.
度なプログラミングに驚かされるね。
Does he think the world's a simulation? Oh no. The quality of the gods' programming is truly surprising.
まあ個性がネガティブに働くこともあるぜ。
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think in Mania's case, if this is her personality and no Beatrice related thing is actually facilitating this, then yeah, it is very negative. I do find it really quite interesting that, you know, this alternate... I don't want to say alternate personality yet. We know too little to actually say that. But, you know, when she's a witch, she really, really is different. She acts like a witch, though. Yeah.
クラスみんなが真剣に勉強してるから、俺だけはサボって目立とうとかよ。
Other way around as well. I mean, obviously, you would actually be benefiting yourself if you studied hard, but you get bullied if everyone else is slacking off, really. Yeah, I've been there. Well, unique personality traits can also be negative, right? Like, if, say, everyone in the class was studying hard, but I was the only one slacking off trying to stand out. Okay, that last bit was true about me. Oh my god! Jesus Christ. It's only recently that I've been able to thank the middle school teacher that slapped me after school. Fucking hell. I'm surprised they still have punishments like that. Well, no, of course they do. That's reasonable. God. But well, I tried to jump over things nobody else could.
成績のいい連中を周回遅れにさせてやるぜって。マラソンで全力疾走とか。そういう気持ちはあったな。
Yeah, I really get the rebellious nature. Like, you know, you try your hard, you just slack, and then you kind of have a jealousy for the other people. You want to be different to them, I suppose, as well. Like in terms of the aspect of how fast you can run. So you try and beat them. Yeah. I love that. I tried to sprint as fast as I could, and I'm really fucking fast. But, yeah. I just felt like doing it.
勉強はダメだったから。少なくとも運動では見返してやるぜ。
Oh, that's actually really quite interesting, so I wonder if this laid the foundation for, you know, his muscle. It was in my nature that if I couldn't study well, then at least I could get back at them by exercising.
なるほど。ちゃんと成長期してるな。
Yeah, that is interesting. I see, so I really did go through a proper growing
男
period.
子ってやっぱり肉体的な方面に関心が向くよな。
Fair, I don't disagree with that. I guess boys really do tend to focus on more physical stuff.
でもよ、同じ時期に女子は精神的な面に向きやすいんだよ。
Yeah, but you know, girls of the same age tend to focus on more mental, spiritual
バトラ
things.
のクラスの女子にも占いとか霊感とかそんなこと言ってる女子連中のグル
No
ープがあったりしただろ。
way, really? Okay, I mean, I understand this, but I mean, this really doesn't relate to the society we're in. All the girls my age are just, well, like nearly all of them are arseholes. Or at least that I know. I bet there were groups of girls in your classes that got really interested in fortune telling and their spiritual senses. Yeah, that'd be
ああ、あっ あった。
Really? Wow. To be fair, this is Japan. This doesn't relate to England whatsoever. Yeah, there were.
人の星座とか血液型とか聞いてきて。ああ、やっぱりクスクス。
That is so weird. They come over asking me for my sign and blood type, and they laugh. Ah, I thought so. It is predetermined in the stars.
大いにムカついたもんだぜ。
It really got on my nerve. Fair enough. Yeah, it sounds
どこ
like.
のクラスに行っても女子は占いが好きだし、
God, no matter which class you go to, girls like fortune
決
telling.
まって霊感に強いだの弱いだの、感受性がどうこう、見えないものが見えちまうだの、そういう手合いが必ずいたもんだぜ。
Deciding whether your spirit sense is strong or weak. Oh my god, yeah. What your sensitivity is, whether you can see the unseen. That's actually really quite funny how that relates to, you know, the plot of Umineko. But anyway, that kind of thing definitely happened to me. I've never had people like that, but I have had people that, yeah, pissed me off. That is really weird. My spirit is strong, guys. I can drink 4 bottles of alcohol. No, not alcohol. Liqueur. I can drink 180% ethanol alcohol without dying. I've got such a strong spirit, guys.
占いも霊感も
Yeah.
学校では教えないものだからね。
Oh, now that isn't fair. Fair enough. That's because fortune telling and spiritual senses are things that are not taught in
男の
school.
子と違い、内向的な世界に関心を持ちやすい女の子にとって、
The girls who tend to be more introverted.
それはアイデンティティを確立しやすくて、かつ興味深いジャンルなんだよ。
It really links to Maria, this. It's a genre that's easy to build up an identity upon. Oh yeah, definitely. And same for Maria. Can you see magic? Do you have specific wavelengths for it? Or can you not? Who knows? And build an identity upon. And one that needs a lot, that one that holds a lot of interest for them. Yeah, definitely.
男子が成長期に入ると急に悪ぶったりして大人に反抗を始めるのと全く同じに。
Not all do. Yes, they do, actually. Never mind. Just like how when boys enter their growing period, they start acting tough and rebel against
女子
adults.
も成長期に入るとそういうのに興味が出るようになるんだよ。
Yeah, that is weird. When girls enter their growing period, they start getting interest in that kind of thing. God damn. That is so true, though. They do. I mean, yeah.
私はそうでもなかったけどさ。
Yeah, exactly. Not everyone does. Well, I didn't know.
つまりマリアがオカルトに関心を持つのは年頃の女の子としてはそう珍しく
I
も
found
な
it
い
really quite interesting. There's a lot of things that aren't taught at school. If you learn them and then you really get good at them, I suppose because you've done it off your own initiative and you want to, firstly, I suppose in this is kind of saying you want to kind of rebel against what you're learning in school. You want to, you know, not be the same sheep as everyone else. You want to learn stuff. You want to really, you know, make the most of the time you have, really. And you want to just excel in something. And that, I suppose, can actually change the personality. But yeah, that is fair enough. That logic fully adds up. Even if we accept that, no, I don't think so. I wonder if it explains that creepy dual personality thing. There's something within the interest that may, if it's not Beatrice's facilitation. Actually, I think I probably could accept that explanation, more or less. Yeah, fair.
さっきも言った通り、大人になるというのは知識や経験を持つことを言う。
As you just said, becoming an adult means gaining knowledge and
だから
experience.
それを得るために子供たちはいろいろなことを学んで子供を脱却しなければならないんだけど。
So to gain that, it's necessary for children to learn all sorts of things and break free from childhood. Yeah, that's fair enough, actually. knowledge and experience. I don't disagree. I mean... Yeah, definitely.
子供の世界に今も昔もはびこっているある便利な妄想があるんだよ。
However, there are certain convenient delusions that you see often in the world of children, both now and in the
わかる
past.
かい？
Do you know what I mean?
漫画やアニメに多いだろ
You see it all the time in manga and anime,
ほ
right?
らあれだよ
It's kind of like that.
前世の記憶が蘇ってとか
Like you've got memories from a previous life that start to resurface.
偉大なるなんとかの魂が乗り移ってとか
Like you've been possessed by the soul of the great something or whatever.
ああ、他にも遺伝子が覚醒したりとか、
Oh my god, definitely, yeah. Or it could be that a sleeping gene gets
封印
reawakened.
されていた能力やら記憶やらが
Power?
戻ったりとか、いろいろあるな。
Maybe a seal power or memory returns. There's all
どう
kinds.
いうわけか。あの時期はそういうのがやたらと流行るもんさ。
For some reason, stuff like that's really popular at that age.
どうしてだ？
Oh, what? Interesting. Yeah. Hmm.
今挙げたキーワードはすべて子供の自分に知識や経験を直ちに付加できる幻想だからだよ。
All of those examples you've just mentioned are illusions that let children immediately add to their sum of knowledge and experience.
9歳の女の子も1000年を生きた魔女が私に憑依していると言い出せば
If a 9-year-old girl says she has a 1,000-year-old witch possessing her.
1009歳のアイデンティティが得られるわけだからね。
Yeah, that is actually really quite interesting because it's part of her identity. It's not something that's genuinely happening. It's just part of her identity and a means of expressing it, I suppose. Then she gains a 1,000-year-old and 9-year-old identity.
まあつまり勉強するのは面倒くさい
It's basically studying is
でも
annoying.
人とは違うスキルを持って周りに威張りたいちやほやされたいっていう連中にとっては便利な妄想なんだよな
These delusions are convenient for people who want to brag about having a skill nobody else has, assuming the people around them, amazing the people around them even, so you can brag about something without having to work hard or study. Yeah, isn't that a kid's greatest dream? Yeah, I suppose just to stand out and look the best in the crowd. Yeah, fair.
あとは子供からの脱却願望には必ず自分の理想像の自己投影が行われ
Oh, yes, agreed. Furthermore, in their desire to separate themselves from being kids, they'll always project an image of their
そ
ideal
の願
self.
望の姿が別人格として形成されることが少なくない。
But that's not relatable. And it's not rare for that desired self to become an alternate personality. I'm
バトラ
surprised that
君だ
that's
っ
not
て
rare.
家と学校では多少キャラクターが違うということがあ
Oh,
る
so
んじゃな
this
い
is
かな。
this is really I suppose it's not severe. I'm thinking of like DID, MPD, stuff like that. Like severe stuff. But no, this is just minor stuff that is normal. But the only thing is the personality is completely inflicted on the environment around it. It's not just because of yourself. Well, it could be. It's just because of what's happened in your life, really, and the environment around you. Like, if I was the happiest person on earth, if I had to go to a junkyard with, I don't know, no shoes on, I wouldn't be happy, because the environment's crap. If I was sad, though, I would want to die, if I had to do that. What a random-ass example, it's so weird. When I say random ass, I meant that, but that example also was arse, so, yeah, kind of accurate there. That's interesting. So Maria, being a witch and actually being with Beatrice is a projection of her
多
ideal
分
self.
家で
And
の自分の姿を
I could have potentially
クラス
been
の
an
友人
alternate
たちに見せるのは
personality as a
恥ずかしい
result
はずだよ。
oh, true. True, it'd probably be embarrassing if your friends at school see how you were.
学校の自
True.
分は自分のなりたい姿の投影で、家の自分
Oh,
は
yes.
本来の
Yes,
姿だから。
agreed. At school, you try to project yourself as you want to be, but home is where you're your true self. Yep, definitely. Yep. It's possible to have anger issues, but never once show them at school. I speak from experience.
キャラクターの使い分けというか。
Yeah, so in other words, I'm changing my personality depending on the
人格
situation.
の多重化はごくごく当たり前だと言いたいわけか。
Are you trying to say having multiple personalities is actually really common?
オカルトが好きな女子はそれを憑依と言ったり覚醒と言ったりするぜ。
A girl who's a fan of the occult may say she's being possessed or
正
awakened.
直ドン引きするくらいにキャラを変える子もいるよ。
Oh, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Honestly, there are some kids who change their personality so much it's creepy.
男子にもいるだろ。
Yeah, and some boys do it
キ
too,
レた
right?
とか言ってやたらめったら粗暴キャラに変身するやつが。
Yeah, guys who said they'd blown their top and suddenly turned into some overplayed violent cat. Overplayed, I like it.
本人はかっこいいと思ってるんだろうけど、見てて痛いよな。
I bet they think it's pretty cool, but it's painful to watch.
つまりおさらいするとだ。
Yeah, let's sum this all
マ
up.
リアくらいの年頃の女の子がさっきみたいな不気味な二重人格みたいなのを見せても。
So you're saying that even if a girl about Maria's age shows a creepy second personality like she did a minute ago,
それほど珍しいものじゃ
it
ない
isn't such a rare or unusual
と
thing?
言いたいのか。
So I suppose you could present the change. You could explain the change in emotions as Maria is, well, her change in emotions are basically. What was I gonna say? Kill me! I forgot. Maria's change in emotions. God, can I stop? I hate it when you're trying to think of something and then you just think of something really, really random. My English essay just came up in my mind. Like, come on, man. Some boys do. Oh wait. I do find it interesting though. So this potential change in personality and obviously how mad she's seemed to be. That was normal. All of that was just simply because of the fact that, you know, she's projecting herself as an ideal, as a witch, really. And she's doing everything she can to actually get it because, you know, I suppose her other personality makes her believe that she is actually that thing. But at the same time, that's a really oblivious emotion. I don't know.
簡単にまとめるとそういうことだね。
Simply put, that's right. Yeah.
アイデンティティは自己を形成するための大切なもの。
Oh yeah, definitely. Identity is an important factor when building up one's sense
そ
of
れを
self.
バカにしたりすると、かえってその殻に閉じこもってしまうこともある。
Yeah, that is actually really quite interesting. If you make fun of it, it could actually cause children to go back into their shells. Yep, I've experienced that.
だから、ほどほどに付き合ってあげるのが大切なんだよ。
So it's important to go along with them to some
そ
degree.
れを丸ごと受け入れてあげるのが親の包容
Oh
力
yeah,
とい
yeah,
うものなんだ
definitely.
け
Yeah,
ど
yeah,
ね。
yeah. Although the broad-mindedness of the parent determines whether they play along in full or not.
兄貴、それで独身って信じられねえぜ。
Well, God, he wouldn't have been if, you know, the murders hadn't happened. Aniki, I can't believe you're
もう子供
single.
が中学くらいに上がって
Oh
そう
my
な
God, I know.
さ。
I know. I don't even disagree whatsoever. Well, he did say a sociological standpoint, so maybe he took sociology. But if this guy is not a psychology student or a sociology student, then what the hell is he? Philosophy or maybe RS? That could have some stuff. I don't know.
じゃあ、ローザおばさんもあのマリアの二重人格について
Yeah, I do
よ
wonder
く
as
知
well.
っていたのかな。
So I wonder if Aunt Rosa also knew much about Maria's dual personality. Yeah. It really is, yeah. That's actually really quite interesting. So if you make fun of... I don't agree with this. If you make fun of somebody for who they are, they're either going to rebel against them and then they're going to build up their sense of self, or maybe that bullying is actually going to make them subconsciously change and eventually they're just going to become the same and they're just going to integrate into the environments that don't really have them as unique people, really. But At the same time, I think cases like that are really rare. Like, for example, it's just you getting bullied, but then you actually changing so that you become the bully's friend, really. But I think stuff like that is only really common in, you know, little kids, because obviously, like, if that happened with, like, that would never happen for example, somebody my age. No way. But I suppose that could happen if you were younger. She knew about it.
ここだけの話、ローザおばさんはすっごく嫌がってた。
Now that is surprising. If Rosa actually knew about it, then that could maybe mean that this, you know, really, really creepy playing witches was actually done outside of the Ushinomiya household. That either means Beatrice has been a creep watching her for the entirety of her life, or, and, you know, possessing her whenever that's happened, or maybe for a more likely conclusion, this is a trait that actually happens consistently. Yeah. I think this theory is more and more likely now. She said it was, oh, yep, and that would increase the strength of her interest and, you know, thus the personality that she's formed. Yeah, she said it was unpleasant, and that Maria was becoming increasingly isolated from the rest of the club. Yeah.
だからマリアがオカルトの話を始めたり、魔女みたいな声で笑い出したりすると、必ず変化してたぜ。
God, Jesus Christ! So anytime Maria started talking about the occult or laughing like a witch, she'd slap her!
だからマリアもローザおばさんがいる時にはそういう話をしないようになったみたいだけど。
It looks like Maria stopped talking about that way in front of her, so she can control it. Interesting. Maybe that thing back there. Yeah, I really wonder. It just sounds so unlikely though, genuinely, because of the fact that, firstly, her face was so creepy. Secondly, I think it's a really, really good point to mention that, for example, the reading in the you know, when she was reading Beatrice's letter, like, beforehand she could barely read kanji, but now she could just, like, fully read a letter. She hadn't opened it, there was no way she could have rehearsed it. So, yeah, it's weird. Could there be something else? That's my question. It could be that, or it maybe could be the fact that, I don't know, she's really confident, so she's less liable to mess up. I don't know. It's weird, because she reads it perfectly. It doesn't make much sense. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck off. Sorry. I literally... How can you press control twice accidentally? How is that even possible? That's so irritating. Yeah, it is interesting that. I mean... Yeah. It's so relatable though. It really is. It's really funny how... Kids talking to themselves, it is common. Because they believe something else is going on. Or that, I don't know, some imaginary friend is there or something ridiculous like that. Just a girl trying to show that she was different and independent by holding interest in witches and the occult. Yeah, and because she has such an isolation from her classroom as well, and she's so different to everyone else, that is going to be really, really extreme, like we've seen with the personality change. And since she wanted to be different from herself, young as she was, yeah, definitely. She was switching between her normal personality and the personality of her ideal, a witch. Yeah. First, I found that very disturbing, but after being lectured by George Aniki, it felt like this is a path everyone walked down at the time or another. Yeah, it is actually really quite weird that, you know, the path that, to be fair, I do kind of understand what the case actually is. No, but I just don't really understand how, as a result of this, she's been able to, for example, read, you know, firstly, Hebrew writing on the seventh circle of the sun. Well, she could just be really knowledgeable. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's something weird going on, but it does beg to differ, like, I don't know. I hadn't told anyone, but when I was in kindergarten, I I joined with a little gang of kids trying to form an Earth Defense Force, saying that we'd help protect peace on Earth. My face turns red when I remember. My face turns red when I remember how, during what we would call battle practice, we would chant EDF. No way! It's EDF energy! Well, what does the EDF and EDF energy stand for? Expected default frequency. Right. Fair enough. Not Earth Defense Force. No, it's just really quite funny that EDF is an energy company. And, you know, this applies. Earth Defense Force, though. I love it. Just like usual, Mario was relaxing, immersed in the TV, oohing, even, and laughing, yeah, just like any girl her age. It is interesting that whenever witches are brought up, she's like that. But at the same time, it doesn't really make sense that beforehand, when she was just, well, no. But on the inside, another personality, that of the idea of a witch she respected and blindly accepted, was sleeping. Yeah, it is interesting that, and whenever there are triggers, it's always brought out and it totally replaces the one that she normally has. But at the same time, I don't really think this is like dangerous levels of an alternate personality. It's normal levels, really. And it's just so weird to think that there is actually a normal level. I think the best normal level of alternate personality is, I suppose, a mood swing. Especially if the mood swing doesn't go. And then if your mood then is affected by it. And you think things you would normally think when you're really angry. Or upset or something like that. But that wasn't... Yeah! It's interesting that. I've calmed down a little. The shock from my bizarre experience in the kitchen just now is fading away. Yeah, good one. Yeah. If I hadn't told about Nikki and Jessica, I might still be frightened by the idea that an invisible witch is standing right behind. Oh my god, I know! However, can I really accept that as an explanation for what happened back there? No way. If it had just been Maria, I could have explained it as the fickle delusions of a growing girl. Yeah, but the fact that the servants were seeing all of it, maybe they could be in on a lie. Yeah, but Genji-san, Kanon-kun, and Kumasawa-ba-chan has also been there. None of them had denied what Maria... That's the weirder thing. Yeah, they silently accepted that Beatrice exists. I was starting to feel a little... Yeah, understandable, yeah. Yeah, fair. It is weird. Starting to feel a little uneasy. Oh yeah, fair enough, yeah. Aunt Eval's position was that no 19th person existed. That the crime was an inside job tied to the family quarrel. Yeah, fair. On the other hand, Aunt Natty's position was that the couple was hiding somewhere outside the mansion. Yeah, so she rejected the possibility of an inside job and supported the idea of that a 19th person existed. Yeah. And in the kitchen, Maria and the servants had also supported the idea of a 9th person. But according to them, this 19th person isn't human. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, they said it was an invisible witch carrying out some mysterious plan. Yep, she's going to appear sometime soon. That's so... Oh, yeah. Is there a 19th person or not? And is this sculpted human? Oh my god, I know it's impossible to tell, genuinely. For some reason, I couldn't just laugh off any of those possibilities. Yeah, because they seem really, really real. Yeah, not even the ridiculous story about the witch, because there are some things that would make it justifiable. Wonder what this is going to be.
ジェシカ、
Jessica.
ベアトリーチェの話ってのは、俺の認識では、
Oh yeah,
森に
yeah,
子供たち
definitely,
が
yeah.
迷
I
い込ま
wonder...
ないようにって
It's probably good to
作
get
っ
more
た
knowledge on that.
大人の脅し話だってことになってんだが、
Jessica, all I know about the story of the witch is that the adults make it up to keep the kids too scared to enter the forest.
この屋敷じゃ違うのか？
But is the story different here in the mansion? Oh yeah, that is a good point. Yeah. Hmm.
私もバトラと同じ意見だぜ。
I feel the same way you do, okay?
こんなのは子供に言うことを聞かせるために親が作った
yeah,
間抜け
fair.
な階段だと思ってる。
No, it seems reasonable, but at the same time, in this case, I really wouldn't be surprised if there was just some sort of element of truth here. I think it was just a stupid ghost story that parents made up so their kids wouldn't listen to them.
そうだと口にはできない空気が屋敷内にあることは否めないな。
But I can't deny that the atmosphere inside the mansion makes it a little hard to say it out loud.
おじい様がベアトリーチェは存在すると公言されているからね。
After all, grandfather has proclaimed that Beatrice exists.
使用人たちは立場上それを疑えないし。
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Understandable, actually. And because of their position, the servants can't doubt that.
クラウスおじさんたちもおじい様と喧嘩がしたいわけもないから表向きは口を揃えてる。
Kraus, out of all people, that's really surprising. Yeah, even Uncle Kraus and Aunt Nazi don't want to get into a fight with him, so on the surface, they go along with it. Yeah, fair.
このお屋敷ではベアトリーチェの存在を疑うことはある種のタブーだと思うんだよ。
So it's probably fair to say that doubting the existence of Beatrice is taboo to those who live and work in the
年に
mansion.
一度しか来ない僕たちと違ってね。
Oh yeah, fair enough, they're always here. Yeah, unlike the rest of us who only come in once a year. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, as if somebody is potentially watching you. Jessica took a deep breath in admiration. Yeah. It looked like Aniki guessed right. Oh, that's actually really quite surprising, yeah.
ジョージ兄さんの言う通りだぜ。
It's just like you
みん
say.
な腹の中じゃ信じてるわけじゃない。
Yeah, that is actually really quite interesting. Nobody really believes it on the inside, whereas, you know, they really have to please the grandfather. Yeah, nobody really believes it on the inside.
表向きはその存在を認めてる。
But on the outside, they accept that she exists.
ほら、神様の存在を認めるような、そん
She's...
な雰囲気だよ。
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, see, it's just like the way some
実
people are
際
about
にはい
God.
ないことを知ってても、それを口に出して否定したら
Fair,
野暮みたいな空気だな。
Even if they know God doesn't exist, they'll feel like it would be uncouth if they actually said it out loud.
使用人たちの間ではどういうことになって
Yeah,
る
that is a good question. How do you think the
や
servants
っぱ
feel
り
about it?
雇い主のじい様がいるって言ってんだからそれに口調を合
Yeah,
わ
I
せ
know.
て
You
る
would have
わ
thought
け
that.
か
I just don't really understand that though. I don't think that logic makes sense because the servants have, you know, they've said stuff about Beatrice. I don't understand why, if the grandfather couldn't possibly be watching, they would say stuff that would, you know, agree to the existence of Beatrice. Like, I don't really understand that. Maybe it was just some sort of reputational thing. You can't let a secret go. I think that's probably it, if that's the logic. It's just weird though. All the servants, if you ask me, they sounded too taken in to actually, for me to actually be able to believe that, you know, nothing was happening. Yeah. Yeah, I really wonder.
さあ、
Well,
詳しくはわからないけど、
don't really know the details.
使用人たちの間ではベアトリー
Oh
チェ
yeah,
の
yeah,
話は
definitely, yeah.
ある種の怪談扱いになってるよ。
But between the servants, the story about Beatrice has been treated like some sort of ghost
ほ
story.
ら、昨日海岸でシャノンが話してくれたろ。
Remember yesterday when Shannon was taking that stand by
夜
the
見
beach?
回りをしているとき、不気味な何かを見かけたとか。
Oh yeah,
そういう
yeah,
話
definitely, yeah. Yeah, the story about how one night when she was doing rounds in the mansion, saw something unsettling. Yeah, when she saw the butterflies, yeah, but she did say something like that, didn't she? Back then I thought she was just being really nice to help improve Maria's mood. Yeah, that is the weird thing, but it felt like she was being serious when she said it. That's right, she definitely said it. She said the name. Yeah, she definitely said the same kind of thing that Genji and the rest had all unanimously declared back in the kitchen.
他にも鬼火や輝く蝶々が舞っているのを見たという使用人も
I mean, this sounds too true to be a ghost story, genuinely. If it's treated like a ghost story, then it can't be one where people actually believe in it. They just have a loose belief. It's like belief without any proof. Yeah. Yeah. In addition, some servants have also seen the Will of the Wisps and glittering butterflies dancing around. Oh yeah, I had to search up what Will of the Wisps were.
夜の見回りの時に見たことがあると言ってました。
Yeah, Kano-kun also saw something like that when he went on patrolling one night.
あと最近ではお屋敷の中で深夜に不思議な足音をよく聞くと使用人の間で話題です。
And recently, you often hear servants talking about strange footsteps heard in the mansion near midnight. That is
私たちは
weird. That
肖像
really
画の
is.
中のベアトリーチェ様が姿を消してお屋敷の中を散歩しているんだろうと囁き合ってるんですよ。
We've whispered together that the Beatrice Summer in the portrait sometimes makes herself invisible and walks through the mansion. Yeah, that's actually really quite interesting. So maybe that could be why they're hearing footsteps late at night. I mean, she's a witch. Does she have perception? Does she have perception of the time? And does she care?
私もそうかもしれない足音を夜の見回りの時に聞いたことがあります。
Yeah, that is weird. That is really, really weird. It's so weird whenever you hear a ghost story and then you hear that it could potentially be the case. But at the same time, this could just be somebody walking near her. Well, she was... Yeah. Could either be somebody near her that she's... The sound of footsteps near her that she's misinterpreted as Beatrice's, even though she's fucking invisible. But yeah, maybe it could be genuine Beatrice footsteps. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. It really is. If she's a witch, why does she walk? Why does she not fly? But at the same time, not all witches have to walk. They can fly, but still, it's just really quite odd. Why would you care so much about yourself being exposed? Is what I'm trying to ask. Like, why not make it more subtle? Yeah, that is weird. That's right, she definitely said. Agreed, yeah. Exactly the same thing that I've been told just now. Yeah.
でも怯えることはないんです
Well,
よ。
that's ironic. You're not exactly alive. Oh, but there's nothing to be
ベアト
afraid
リー
of.
チェ様は親方様とは異なるもう一人のお屋敷の主です。
Beatrice-sama is another ruler of this mansion,
だから
several from the
変に
master.
怯えたりしないで敬意を持っていれば決して悪いことはしないのだそう
Yeah,
で
that
す。
is interesting. So there's no need to be unnaturally afraid. If you respect her, I heard she won't do anything bad. It is actually really got odd the fact that, you know, she will be respected and then nothing will happen. Firstly, it reminds me of Higurashi, and secondly, it is really quite odd. Rumours like this, they drill faith into people. They make them feel if I don't have faith in Beatrice, then I could potentially die. A painful death, let me add. However, she can be quite terrifying if you don't respect her, right? Yeah, yeah.
はい。
Correct.
私が勤めを始める直前に
I've heard that
階
just
段
before
を
I
転
began
がり
working
落ちて
here.
腰にベアトリーチェ様のことを悪く言っていたそうです。
Jesus. That's absurd. Someone who spoke badly about Beatrice Sama fell down the stairs and quit after receiving a large injury on their back. On their back? This is just next level internet, people. You trash talk me, I'm going to make you trip down the stairs and break your fucking back, potentially.
ベアトリーチェ様のお怒りに触れたのだろうと噂し合ったそうです。
Because of that, there was a rumour between the servants that Beatrice Sama's anger had been brought down upon this person. Yeah, that is interesting. Just because they haven't actually followed. If you don't respect her, you'll suffer her wrath and get hurt.
使用人たちにとって
So, to the
ベアトリーチ
servants.
ェお稲荷さんにいたずらしたらお狐様のたたりがあるってくらいには信憑性があるわけだ。
I don't even know who these people are. I'm assuming that's really not. Yeah, I think that's probably just saying that if you prank somebody, then you'll receive a curse. That's not credible whatsoever. I mean, it is in the fairy tale world, but this is the real world. God, that's insane, though. Suffering the wrath of Beatrice. Of course, even though everyone except the curses and the like don't exist in the modern era. Yeah, people are still afraid of them and still have a little respect for them because obviously they obviously know that it's not going to happen, but they still just have that slight thought that what if this could potentially be risking their lives, not believing in stuff like this. You often see it when in a residential area somebody is building a house and they call a Shinto priest for a ceremony to honour the god of that plot of land. Oh, you might think that was just a big waste of time and money. Oh, yeah. Good for business, for the priests, my god. But it is said that if the workers don't do that, a big accident will occur, so they never neglect to do it. What if somebody breaks their neck or nose or, I don't know, appendix? I don't fucking know. Like anything. Arm, leg, toe. It's not very nice. But at the same time, this should have said that evil things like that should have been warded off. Doesn't make much sense, does it? That's actually really quite interesting, that. You also hear about how if an Inari sign is carelessly removed during a town replanting, there'll be a curse by Kisune-sama. Wait, I've got to search up what an Inari shrine is. Oh, fucking kill yourself. Adult content. Oh, I do not want to show my tabs. Well, they're not actually that bad. Has it got my location on there? Oh, it's one of these ones. Right. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, that makes sense. I've seen some of these. I've seen these in really quite traditional looking photos. God, this looks so cool. This really this really looks like Higurashi, or is that just me? Wait, let me actually get like a Shirakawa shrine. Let me just no way. I don't know, I don't really see where I'm seeing the resemblance. No, I don't know. Look at what I was trying to think looked similar. Yeah, like you've got this. And then you've also... Well, I suppose this is a better image. Yeah, this one. And then this one. They look really similar in terms of colours. And these look like things I've seen in Higurashi. These, I suppose, postbox-like things. Amazing stuff, genuinely. That's really cool. God, I'd love to visit that. Right, this is Umineko. Don't look at pictures of Shirakawa-go. That's for when I'm bored on the bus. I don't fucking know. Well, it probably is. Got so hard at the moment. That's really got insane though. So they never neglect, what was it, like... Yeah, call a Shinto priest to honour a plot of land so that an accident doesn't happen. That's really quite surprising that, you know, shrines have to be carefully removed. They can't be carelessly removed with bad decision behind it. I think I might have read somewhere that when the occupying forces were trying to expand an airport, they tried to remove an Inari shrine that was in the way. And the workers kept getting struck down by mysterious fevers? What? That is weird. Even in modern cities like Tokyo, it wasn't rare to see some modern buildings packed all around an old Inari shrine. Oh yeah, understandable actually, yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah, leaving the shrine itself untouched. And this wasn't limited to Japan. It's probably similar to how, yeah, foreigners baptise babies. If I remember right, by Christian doctrine, if unbaptized souls even have the slightest amount of sin, they will still go to hell. Putting water on a child's forehead doesn't do anything but make them cry. I know! But if by doing that, parents can prevent their children from going to hell, they will happily go through without ceremony. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I just see manipulation, deception, and fucking ridiculous stuff that defies any human logic. I mean, I don't know. That's just how I think of it, obviously. Believe it if you will, but I'm not a believer, as you can tell. I am as atheist as it gets. I'm so atheist that religion pisses me off, basically. That's actually really quite interesting, that. But no, I can think of, for example... No, I'm finding it hard to think, but... Old pubs, for example, no, they don't have any religious context. Old churches, you fucking idiot. Use that example. Old churches! They are relics. They are tourist attractions because of how old they are. They are historical attractions. They mean business, but they also have loads of religious importance. I mean, there probably wouldn't be anything about curses if you removed a church, but yeah. You'd still get a lot of angry religious people that, you know, obviously have a big part of their routine totally disrupted if they haven't actually got a church any longer to praying, do stuff like that. Yeah. Sure, even in this modern society of reason, yeah, there are still things that are just totally ridiculous. We were still unable to throw away every trace of belief and fear. Yeah, belief in the irrational, the supernatural. You could even say that we accept certain sorts of supernatural things, though in a passive way. How so? Maybe the one difference on this island is that Beatrice is the object of that worship. Fair enough, actually. It has all of the connotations for worship. So in other words... Now that is interesting. That is interesting. Maria is the best example. I was convinced that it could potentially have been, you know, the possession of her via Beatrice. But no. Well, we don't know that for certain, but I think it's more likely Basileus' theory applies. It's just because of the fact that Rosa gets really, really annoyed, and it's happened outside. I'm assuming because of that, it's, you know, her weird witch personality has happened outside of school as well. Sorry, outside of this mansion as well. If it was Beatrice, then why is it outside of the mansion? Why is it not just in the mansion? Who knows? Beatrice does have every single character with an object of worship, though. She has, well, I suppose she has the curse element, the dependent element, the dependencies are just like, you have to follow me, otherwise you'll be cursed, and then all of the mystery and the unknown, belief that you need to believe in order to follow her and stuff like that, really. And the fact that all of her stories are treated as complete gospel by, for example, the servants. I think Shannon-chan said it herself. Interesting.
What
Windows and doors and locks that were tightly shut would be open the next time you went to check them. Oh yeah, that is weird, yeah. But at the same time, that could be so easily misinterpreted for another human that has done that. Lights that should have been on went out, and the lights that should have been out were turned on. Oh yeah. And even if I remember, Jessica was joking about it. Even though Jessica was joking about it, saying it was also the work of Beatrice when she couldn't find her bag in the mall. Fair enough, actually. Yeah. Your memory's pretty good. Yeah, that is actually really quite funny. Yeah. Normally you'd say some little imps took them, but on this island it's Beatrice. Yeah. Yeah, it's a really quite small thing. It doesn't really have much relevance, but at the same time, I suppose you could say, oh my god, oh my Beatrice. Oh my fucking god, I want to kill myself now. That sounds so weird. Oh god, this mansion has been standing for about 30 years now. Jesus Christ, I thought it was so much longer. That actually really surprises me. So Kinzo really made his fortune late on. Wow. Well, no. Actually, quite early. Yeah, he was young when he made it, but still. I think it was 20 years after the Kanto earthquake. I think it was the Kanto earthquake, the magnitude 7.91. See, I remember weird things as well. The fact that the earthquake that struck the Kinzo family down was magnitude 7.9. I swear it was. Yeah. I don't think this applies to anything normal, but the fact that this is so mysterious and so just in the middle of nowhere and isolated and cut off from society, this applies. Like the seven mysteries at the school. But that's where I'll...
チェス盤をひっくり返すぜ。
that's actually really quite interesting, so I wonder... Yeah... Looking at the point of view from the person that the mysteries are actually about. Huh?
つまり、この島では人間にはできないことはベアトリーチェの仕業と置き換えることができるルールがあるってわけだ。
Simply put, on this island, there's a rule that Beatrice gets blamed for anything that couldn't have been done by human. Agreed, yeah, anything that seems remotely anomalous, even anomalous and odd and doesn't add up, boom, Beatrice's work. Things that humans can't do. How many humans are here? 18.
つまり犯人はこの島のルールにのっとって
That is really interesting.
この事件は魔女の仕業だとアピールしてることになる。
Let me just think of, apart from the servants, the most obvious sign of Beatrice. Now, if they were on a really, really long endeavour to make this crime happen, I would say it's Genji. Because firstly, because all of the... I don't understand with the gold though. I really don't understand how that actually works. Could that be severe delusion? Or maybe it could just be... Maybe it could be like a really, really bad sort of sense of superiority, really. You're so superior that you imagine things like 10 tons of gold. I don't know. And to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if it's an imagined thing because it just sounds so ridiculous. How can you have 10 tons of gold? And how can you move it as well? Because let's be honest, I think it probably had to be moved. Because the 10 tons of gold, they had appeared way before, you know, Kinzo went to the island. Wait, no, they're not on the island though. No, I don't know what I'm thinking. Why would it have been moved? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is interesting that. But at the same time, with the whole gold thing, if that was a farce, then Genji could potentially be somebody behind it because he's, or Nanjo actually, because they've known, you know, Kinzo since, you know, the beginning really. So what I'm thinking is they could have potentially faked all of the... They could have faked all of the gold and could have provided realistic evidence so that this may be what they want to do in the future. Though it just seems ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, but if you have a goal, if you have a plan to murder somebody that's this significant, then I think if you do, why are you not in prison before you actually get to plan it out? Because if this plan was like an actual plan to, you know, just plant these seeds that would totally create a conspiracy in the island for the future family that would come, that's firstly... if there was a future family, and secondly, if everything has gone well, I suppose. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. So if they're using the rules to make it look like a witch committed a crime, then yeah, it is really, really odd, which proves that they desperately want us to think a 19th person did it. I don't like it. Oh, yeah, fair enough. I mean, they've killed 6 fucking people. What, somebody's pretending to be... somebody's pretending there's a 19th person, they're murdering people, and then you ask, what do you mean when you say you don't like it? Right, okay. Let's assume some invisible 19th person exists and wants people to know they exist. If it were me, I'd do it with even more perfect timing. What do you mean by perfect timing? Well... the crime took place sometime between the middle of the night and dawn, right? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We had some people who were talking together until the middle of the night. Some people who were on night shifts, and some people who returned to their rooms and were sleeping. Oh, true. Yeah, that's understandable. Everyone's alibi is really vague, so there's plenty of room to suspect that the crime was an inside job. Joe's Aniki, Aunt Eva probably told you too, right? Yeah, there was a good chance this crime was an inside job. Yes.
まあね。
I guess. Yeah.
つまり不可視の19人目が実在したなら、最初の事件は自分のアピールに失敗してるんだ。
It's a very vague alibis. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah.
いや、そもそも時間帯がミステイクだ。
No, in the first place, they chose the wrong time of day to do it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if they want to let them know it, then why don't they do it in a
不可視
time
の
where
19人目をアピールするためには、
they can see it? I suppose. If this invisible 19th person really wanted to show
死んだ
themselves,
6人以外の12人が
they had to
全
make.
員白であることが確定している状況下で行われなければならない。
Agreed. If this invisible 19th person really wanted to show themselves, they had to make sure that the crime took place under conditions which proved that the remaining 12 people were all innocent. Sorry, I've just got a BRB. Okay, right, I'm back. Yeah, let's get into this. Right, Yeah. I don't disagree. I suppose, yeah, if the 19th person actually, if this quote-unquote 19th person actually took the crimes in place that made everyone look innocent, then it would have worked, but at the same time, the
疑わ
surface,
し
it
い人
doesn't
間が
really...
ゼロにならなきゃ自分の存在をアピールできないんだよ。
Understandable, actually, yeah, and the servants are suspectable people, so as a result, he's failed. Or she, I don't know. As long as... She, obviously, if it's Beatrice. As long as there's a single human we can suspect, this 19th person's attempt to highlight their presence
だ
fails.
から全員のアリバイが一番あやふやになる深夜の
Yeah,
時
that's
間
why
帯
near
は
midnight, when everyone's alibis are at the Vegas.
19人目にとって自分が一番あやふやになる時間帯でもある
Fair enough, actually. The 19th person exists
にもかかわらず
as also at its vaguest.
その時間を選んで犯行に及んだ
And yet the culprit chose to commit the crime at that time.
そんな時間に犯行を起こせば18人の誰かが疑われるのは明白
But at the same time, that's just natural. By committing the crime, then one of the 18 obviously would be
にもか
suspected.
かわらずマリアに手紙を渡して魔女を名乗り誰もが自分
Yeah,
で
definitely.
否定している
And yet, somebody handed Maria the letter and called themselves a witch, even though everyone denies they did. It is weird. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. It is odd. I don't disagree. Yeah, that is weird.
つまり
But that would totally point to the theory of them just trying to really shine the spotlight on
19
themselves.
人間が18人の中にいると
Definitely,
こ
yeah.
う言いたいのかよ
In other words, you're trying to say that one of the 18 is trying to make it look like a 19th person called Beatrice exists.
なんだかぶっ飛んだ発想だな
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy
まだ
idea.
お袋の屋敷の外に不審者が潜んでいるって話の方が信憑性があるってもんだぜ
I think Mum's theory about somebody hiding outside the mansion is a bit more
まさ
credible.
かバトラーはこの客間の中に犯人がいると疑っているのかよ
I know, that's the weirdest thing though. It could potentially be someone. I mean, for example, it could Who knows? Maybe it could have even be... Maybe it could be Hideyoshi. Ever. Who knows? Could you imagine if all of this stuff was ever all along? That would just be weird.
Ah.
I do.
何者かが
Yeah, that is interesting.
が存在すると
Somebody's trying to force us to accept that Beatrice exists.
そうさ。昨べのあの手紙からもう事件は始まっていたんだ。
Fair enough. Because now, if you think about it with this perspective, the letter last night, that was forcing them to believe that it was
証
Beatrice.
拠も根拠も何もねえけどな。
I don't have any basis or proof.
チェス盤を逆さにした限りじゃ、俺の見立てはこんなところだ。
But if the chessboard turned around, this is my best guess. Fair.
飛びまくってるにも程
Seriously,
がある
that's too
ぜ。
crazy. Yeah.
妙な推理小説の読みすぎじゃねえのかよ。
That's actually really quite funny that, you know, Jessica was just totally there to doubt the theory. But at the same time, if this was a bloomin' 18th person, there wasn't actually a 19th person there. Comments like these are exactly what they'd be looking for.
でも無視できない着眼
True.
点もあるね。
Yeah, I agree. However, it's an angle we can't ignore.
19人目がいるかいないかは別にしても、
Whether this is a 19th person or
その
not.
犯人は確実にこの島のルールにのっとって何かを仕掛けてきている。
Yeah, definitely, yeah. The culprit's definitely planning something involving that rule about the island.
僕はね、今バトラ君の話を聞いていて、少しだけ気持ち悪いことを思い出してたんだよ。
I wonder what. Just now, letting Backdora can talk, I remembered something that's a little disturbing.
気持ち悪いこと
Something disturbing?
Mm.
Oh, yes.
覚えてるかい？
Do you remember?
ベアトリーチェの
Oh, yeah, definitely. The fact that she could have actually got... Well, the fact that whoever has the wax seal has Kinzo's
ベアトリー
family
チェ
ring.
は利子の回収を行うと言っていたね。
Oh, yeah, it said the Beatrice was going to collect
そ
interest.
して利子とは後ろ宮家のすべてだと言った。
And by interest, it mentioned everything of the Yoshinomiya family. As in people. Is that what he's thinking? Jessica and I thought back on what Maria had read aloud at the previous night. Yeah, it said that. Yeah. Yeah, it said that.
確かに言ってた。
It definitely said that.
そして利子の回収をこれから行うが、黄金の謎を解いたら、その権利を失うとも言ってたよな。
Yeah, the collection of the interest was going to take place shortly. Interest. Oh god, I didn't even intend for that, but interesting. But if the riddle of the gold could be solved, she'd lose that right.
おじい様は黄金を授かり、後ろ宮家
Yeah,
を
yeah,
再興
definitely,
し
yeah.
た。
Grandfather received the gold and rebuilt the Ushinomiya
つまり
family.
黄金を資本に生み出したものすべてが利子だってベアトリーチェは言っている。
Yeah, in other words, according to Beatrice, everything created under the gold as capital counts as part of the
つま
interest.
り
Which means...
冗談きついぜ兄貴。
Oh my god, I know! That's pretty scary for a joke, Aniki.
後ろ宮家のすべて、
You don't mean everyone of the Ushinomiya
つまり
family?
じい様が生み出したものすべてってこと。
Oh, that is interesting. Yeah, everything that
じい様
grandfather
から
gave
血を
birth
分
to.
けた一族のことを指すってのかよ。
God. Jesus Christ. In other words, everyone with grandfather's blood flowing through their
あの
veins.
手紙をそう読み解いたなら、
If you interpret that letter the
この
letter that
殺
way.
人はベアトリーチェが行った正当な利子の
Yeah,
回
that
収
is
ということになる。
weird. But at the same time, why do you want... I mean, obviously, I would understand if it was some sort of monetary thing, the interest. But it's human lives. I don't really understand what she would have to gain from killing humans. Like, seriously. If she is a witch. That's why I say I refer to people as humans. Mere mortals. Everything created Using the gold as capital. Oh, that's actually really quite interesting now that that's said. Because using the gold at capital, that's basically saying, like, without the gold, without Ginzo having, you know, become super well off in life and obviously not having got his own private island and house, he would have never ever started a family. But that's understandable. So all of it's actually really quite funny that all of these people that we're reading about are a result of gold. Potentially, we don't fully know that. But it could be if the gold really does exist and that was really how Ginzo made his fortune.
となれば、この事件はまだ続くよ。
Yeah, definitely. If that's the case, these crimes will continue.
利子の回収はまだ途中なんだからね。
Definitely, because the collection of interest is still only halfway completed. George turned around, looking over the parlour. There were still many people who held the name Bushidomiya. Yeah, exactly, yeah. And because Goda-san and Shamon-chan had been killed. Oh yeah, it doesn't... Same for Nanjo. We knew that not even the servants were safe, despite lacking the Bushidomiya name. Yeah.
私たち
So are they planning
全員を
to kill us all? I know! I mean, why though?
でもおかしいよジョージ兄さん
But that's weird, George Genie-san.
ならどうして6人だけ
In that case, why only 6 people?
他に大勢殺せたはず
True, I agree actually. They should have been able to kill a lot
下手
more.
をすれば寝込みを襲って全員を一晩で殺すことも可能だったはず
At worst, it should have been possible for them to assault everyone while they were sleeping or kill them. Agreed,
どうして
agreed.
それをしなかったの
Is it because they want to see the suffering, or maybe they want to see the theorizing of human beings and how they reason or something ridiculous like that? I don't know. I feel like it's just going to be a motive that we don't really understand as human beings that, you know, a witch like Beatrice would understand. I don't know. I kind of get that impression though. Yeah. It is true though, yeah.
The
special clause. What?
黄金の謎を暴く者が現れ
Oh,
たら
yeah, fair enough
意
actually.
識の権利は失われる。
Yes. If somebody managed to solve the riddle of the gold, their right to the interest would be lost. But at the same time, why are you Hang on, can I make a link here? No, because Eva wasn't dead. I was thinking maybe all the people that were going to use the gold for, you know, really inheritance-related things had died. So as a result, there would be less, you know, interest-based stuff. But not only does Eva remain alive, but also Gorda and Shannon. What would they have to do with the gold being you know, inheritance-related for them? I don't know. There's special clause. If somebody manages to solve the riddle of the gold, their right to the interest will be
そ
lost.
して
Yeah.
手紙の最後にはこう結ばれていたはずだよ。
Remember how that
おじい様の黄金の謎を
Oh
みんな
yeah,
で
yeah,
解いて
definitely,
み
yeah.
ろとね。
The more people die, the more they need to totally get on board and actually solve this thing. Because if they don't, then they're all gonna die basically. That's really sad. Jesus.
ようやく犯人のメッセージが分かってきたじゃねえか。
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, it's just really quite funny to think that these guys, they may be human beings, but they're considered interest to her.
つまり、
Yeah, definitely. I don't
犯
disagree
人は
though.
俺たちにじい様のあの碑文の謎を解いてみやがると言ってるわけだ。
In other words, the culprits, the culprits telling us to try and solve the riddle on the epitaph of grandfather. Yeah, definitely, because otherwise they'll be collected as interest. And I do find it really quite interesting. I think it's a total test of logic. The fact that,
ぼやぼやしてれば。
oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
回収を進め
Couldn't
ちまう
agree
つもり
more.
だ。
On top of that, they're saying that if we just sit around, they'll keep collecting the yeah. I realize this is all based on several guesses that are way out there. True. But not everything that happens in this world fits together in a perfect line. Oh god, no. No, most of the events we don't understand are only individual points. But fitting them into a straight line, we're beginning to understand. Oh, I love that analogy. That's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, because even though you don't fully understand the points themselves, they really make sense with either what you do understand, which isn't really anything here. Well, it is a few things, but they wouldn't really have a big say. The biggest assumptions are ones they don't understand, though. When the points at either end of the line are really close, the line itself is more logical and easier to understand. Yeah. And when those points are really far away, the opposite is true. Yeah, it's the distance between these points that makes us say our guesses are way out there. Oh yeah, fair enough, yeah. However, if the distances we span are too narrow, that means I think it will be narrow. Oh yeah, definitely, because you won't be able to experience a wide range of possibilities. And when I say range, quite literally, like, you know, the highest value minus the lowest value. Several way out of their guesses. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose if they're really quite close, then there aren't really many possibilities that you could pick. Even though that's narrow-minded thinking, there aren't many conclusions. So I suppose you could say, you could liken the points being really close to when we were thinking about, you know, it's only Beatrice. But now we're really exploring the human points of view and why it could potentially be possible. I do find it really interesting about that theory that, you know, they were making it so that it was easy as possible for the 19th person to be alerted. But at the same time, it kind of contradicts each other because, like, if they wanted to be alerted, then why do it at a time where, you know, it's obvious people are going to suspect humans? No, I think it's because they would suspect the other people, but then the more they suspected them, the more they would realise that they can't have possibly been the culprits. So as a result, they would just go to Beatrice as the culprit without any assumption. Or the person masquerading as business, I almost said that, Beatrice. Yeah. Is there a difference between making guesses and reasoning? Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, you can make an educated guess, I suppose. Am I just using equally made guesses to try and force this crime into a pattern that I can understand? Even if he is, that's still a foundation. No, that's not it. When you're lost in the dark and searching around with your hands, what you're doing is relying on your imagination and making guesses. Yeah, fair enough, actually, yeah. Only imagination can find the points that need to be tied together. Yeah, that is interesting. Reasoning is nothing more than the act of drawing lines between them. Well, I suppose so. Imagination is more open to interpretation and more specified to one's thinking, whereas reason is the logical stuff, the joining of all of the points that they thought of. If you can't imagine, you can't reason. True. I do actually agree with that. If, for example, you're thinking about a problem. Now, if you're thinking about a really complex maths problem, you can't imagine. If you can't imagine any of the methodology you would actually use, then why would you be able to actually, you know, find the answer? You need to be able to, you know, imagine stuff. Imagine possible outcomes, imagine possible methods you could do. I agree with this, yeah. You cannot possibly answer the maths problem without having imagined some sort of method. But to be fair, if you're really good at maths, you can just do everything without imagining. You can just do it primarily on instinct, but still. It doesn't apply to every question. If you can't imagine, you can't reason. Yeah, definitely, yeah. What I'm doing now might be way out there, but I'm sure it isn't a mistake either. It may be way out there. It's really quite hard to tell whether it is a mistake or not. What if Beatrice does actually exist and then every single thing here is contradicted? Oh, yeah, definitely. Only an interpretation as well, I think. I think interpretation was a better word than imagination, but I don't know. I think the powers of imagination can pull clues out from the darkness. And then I can use that power of reasoning to tie those clues together. Yeah, fair actually, yeah. It was a lot like the process of searching out an enemy's weak spot and striking. It's okay if I'm way out there. Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. Find a weak point first and then find the correct means to tackle it. Yeah, then we can think about how to strike. Right now is the time to find the points where we can tie together later. Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah. Ooh, I wonder what this is actually going to be. Oh, it definitely looks like it's raining. My god, I feel cold. Oh. So, yeah, I think I might stop reading here. I'm really quite tired today. Yeah, of course, Nazi he did. Yeah, but this is going to talk about all of the theories that Battler has actually done. Oh, do I not want to read anything? Oh, I don't know, I'm tired as fuck. Hold up. Yeah, I don't know. Nah, I don't really think so. I think I'm probably gonna leave this for tomorrow because, yeah, I'm tired as fuck, and yeah, obviously I want to go into this with just an open mind, really, because now we've learnt about the mystery, and then we're going to learn about how people actually interpret the mystery. I think that's a good way to go about it, really. Yeah, so it's interesting that he's actually likening this to, you know, finding the weak point and striking. I suppose finding the weak point is the vulnerability, the thing that's really, really obvious in pursuit of solving the riddle. The thing that once you've understood something in this mystery of Beatrice, you will be able to, I suppose you'll be able to expand upon that knowledge, and then eventually you'll be able to realise what has actually gone on here. I don't know. Yeah, I think that may be likely. Yeah, I really wonder what their attempt to potentially solve the riddle of the epitaph is actually going to be like. Oh my god, man, we've got a lot to look forward to. So, yeah, that was quite fun today. Yeah, it's really quite interesting, and it is really quite something to see, for example, the really likely and obviously quite credible explanations. Though they are just assumption, we really don't have enough knowledge to do anything but assumption, to be honest. It is just really interesting stuff like Maria, for example. I mean, it's impossible to tell whether or not, you know, for example, it was just an alteration of her childhood. You know, just trying to rebel, trying to be different, trying to isolate herself from all of the, I suppose, all of the popular people in life, all of the ones in her class that are just so unique, like Sheep, I suppose, all the same. She wants to become different, she wants to specialise in her own things, and she wants to, you know, really develop on those, and it's just interesting that her ideal self has actually sort of manifested a personality in her, and that could potentially explain all of the stuff regarding her weird shift in personality. And yeah, like I always say, I think Rosa actually having noticed that all of the stuff happened, well, that all of the stuff has happened outside of the Rokkenjima household, I think that just really shows a lot as well. It shows that it's not just Beatrice, it actually happens outside the household as well. And I would have thought only the things inside the Rokkenjima household, as opposed to, you know, Maria's normal home life, would be where it had happened. But no. And yeah, it was interesting, all of the stuff about you know, whether a 19 person exists really, and yeah, I do find it interesting just how similar Beatrice is to her religion, and it really reminds me of Hayashiro-sama. I mean, I get that I shouldn't talk about the other one much, but because this is Umineko, but still, Beatrice really reminds me of Hayashiro-sama, the one that, you know, it's all curses, it's all propaganda, it's all, you know, just efforts to make people believe and fear, and as a result, just totally draw attention to this thing. So if this person isn't Beatrice and they're just really, really trying to, you know, completely draw attention upon themselves, then who are they? Well, that's my question. And yeah, I really do wonder. Now, I hope that tomorrow we're going to get a little bit more action. Though I do like the mystery solving stuff. Like, reading about it for an entire session just kind of gets a little bit boring. I mean, it is interesting, so it is fine, but like, I just want to read something else other than, you know, Total Mystery. I want more action. I don't know. But at the same time, I feel like we're in such a scary and tragic point. You know, 6 people have died, man. Why couldn't it be anything but the mystery? It is quite odd. But, yeah, I'm really quite excited for, you know, tomorrow, just in general, what we're going to see. I hope it's going to be fun. So, yeah, and obviously I wonder when we're going to see Beatrice, but, like, you know, that's a given. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and see you in the next one.